it's a way to solve the problem. Right? Is it the best way to solve the problem? I don't know. But it's a way to solve the problem that we have on South Station. Chuck, you mentioned alternatives. I almost think we should understand what those alternatives are before we go to this scenario. Right? We need to do something to solve that. Is this the best way to do it? I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But I'd like to see what the other options are before we decide on this.
Holly had her hand up.
Joyce Clarkson, 107 Little Road. One of the things that Ernie just said I thought was interesting when he said future and then he corrected it to existing. That's what I'm concerned about. You put in a solution going this direction and someone else puts a solution and going this direction, and all of a sudden we've opened up our township not only to a new precedent, but now we have other developers having instant access to the sewer system, which I think opens up our township to be overdeveloped. And I think that in a nutshell, and I heard you speaking, and I believe that your problem is you need to make a certain amount of money per square foot on your properties, and you're not making the numbers. And I think that's what it comes down to in my mind. I mean, you can open up your books to us and let us know, but that's what I'm hearing. Those are my concerns, and there are 10 people that are not here that actually sent a note to read, and I don't think you need to sit here and listen to all that, but it's along the same gist of what I'm saying is we don't want to see smaller lot sizes and get overdeveloped in all the parcels that you guys have nothing to do with.
Sir. Yeah.
Jim Moore, 13 Second Avenue. I have two questions there. One, when the skip back development went into play, right, we were inundated by cars, cut-throughs, big time. Our school district, part of the second question, was inundated by students. We rebuilt the school district at an enormous amount of money. Our road crews in Lower Frederick, second to none, is taxed out. I mean, they can barely keep up and they're working their asses off, right? This is going to add all kinds of more traffic to us than we already have. I mean, they're cutting through our back streets. We now have cops on Main Street stopping cars at least once an hour. You hear sirens. We never had sirens in this community, right? Never. You could sleep in the morning. Now you hear sirens every morning, right? Because of the traffic involved, right? Are you taking this stuff into consideration? Our school districts, I don't know if, we're ready to build another school. I mean, we took a big knock on that one, right? Where we ended up replacing all our schools because of the influx of students. Now you're bringing in more development, more cars, more kids, right? Who's going to be saddled down with that expense? The township? The township can't afford, that kind of road service.
We are taking all those things into account. There is another effort in this township to do a comprehensive plan, which actually we were here last Thursday night, so I don't know.
I was in
almost 10, and we're looking at all of the things that you just mentioned and how we manage that. But unfortunately, this situation is front and center, and we're trying to deal with it now. None of us on the planning commission even knew that this plan existed until a few days before the last board meeting. So it was a surprise to us as well. The last time we had seen the plan from Ben was back in December of last year. He came in and he spoke to the board in about April of this year, but the last time that we actually looked at a plan from Ben, I believe, was in December of 2018.
Well, you can understand my reasons.
So just to clarify one thing. So this is not an issue of no development versus development, because we have a plan that, assuming the interpretation is correct, is already approved for 46 lots.
46.
That's already done.
And
And then we have the Schmidt property that is, conservatively able to be subdivided into 9 lots. So we're talking roughly, let's say conservatively, 55 lots.
then what about your other developments in the other townships.
It's talking about 55 versus 60 lots. It's not a question of no development versus 60
But
lots.
if
I
you
just want to make
change
sure
the
that
small lot
that
size,
is
then
clear.
other developments can get more houses in there, which this
That's
problem comes into
precedent.
play.
Yeah. And Lower Frederick is, you know, the hub.
Warren?
My question is, the concept of making a swap for where the homes go makes sense. I mean, if they could put 5 lots on the R2, one on Schmidt's place, and preserve that and put them on over here instead, and make it be 51 instead of 46. Could that be done without having to reduce the lot size so drastically and conform with our 10,000 square foot lot size for the cluster?
To put lots on this Schmidt property. So we said.
No, it's preserve the Smith property and just put the amount of lots that could have gone on the Smith property on here. And our ordinances, because at this point, we don't have that.
We don't have the mechanisms in place to do a transfer development,
I
right?
mean, we would have to do that, right, if we did. I mean, that wouldn't be such a drastic increase, we would still do it without having to change the lot size and set that precedent.
Not on that parcel. You can't get 60 homes in there and stay within 10,000 square feet.
Well, we won't need 60 over here.
Huh?
We only need 51 or 52.
Right, we had 48 and that was getting to be really tight based on the natural numbers. Unless I'm forgetting something, I mean 48 back to the 10,000. It's getting pretty tight here. So where was I going with this? Jerry, you had your hand up or?
No, I'm just saying that some of what Mark was saying, the 46 over on the hill, and then develop the 9 on the other lot, and keep 10,000 square feet, I don't see a problem. But I think if you start chopping things down, changing, I think, might as well start over. Like Ernie said, you don't want to go on the future, but you're banking on future promises to develop now. So you're kind of looking at the future as opposed to us.
Marley, you have?
I'm not going to address this project specifically, because we'll talk about that next week, but I have a question for you as a point of law. And when you go to zoning hearing board and your argument on any development is based on you want a relief or a waiver to make more money, is that generally an acceptable hardship, the financial one, to zoning hearing board? Because again, not to talk about this specific property, but I know there have been other cases that have gone to the court in pleas where the argument of financial, we want to make more money, or we're not making enough money, is not considered a valid argument to zoning hearing board.
Right, and that wouldn't be our argument in this case either, not at all. It has nothing to do
So
with making.
what's your answer to the question?
Pardon me?
What-
Well, you come to the zoning hearing, you'll hear our arguments on it, but there are unique circumstances regarding this property.
But my question is
that
it the purview of the zoning hearing board to grant a hardship on the basis of, I want to make more money or I'm not making enough money? That is my question, as a point of law.
No, zoning hearing boards don't grant it because they want to make more money. No.
Thank you.
No, so it'll be my job to present the hardship to the zoning hearing board, which I will do. But that's what I get, and that's what I do for any zoning hearing board. We present the hardship on the property. But keep in mind that zoning hearing boards used to be known as zoning boards of adjustment. And they were put into place because no zoning ordinance covers all the circumstances in a township or even in a particular zoning district. Adjustments need to be made. And that's the purpose of the zoning hearing board. So we present arguments as to why adjustments are merited on any property that I present an argument on before zoning hearing board. That's their job, is to adjust the zoning ordinance for the circumstances of a specific situation. And
Thank you.
that's
You answered my
what I
question,
would
which
do.
was financial need or desire to make more money.
Right, and that's not our basis here, and that's not our
Okay.
basis.
You answered my question.
I might also have a legal question, but I don't believe that you would be the gentleman to answer it, so maybe it may have to go before the Board of Supervisors. Mr. Benoit, our zoning hearing board solicitor, Joseph Coles, worked for your law firm for several years. Is that not a conflict of interest?
No, because first of all, he hasn't worked for our firm for about, say, 25 years. And he is a very professional. He's a very competent attorney, and he doesn't make the decisions either. The zoning hearing board makes the decisions. So no way is that conflict, and he's a man of the highest reputation.
He's in his own practice now, Joe.
Correct.
Right.
And he has been for many years.
He used to be in
We're
with,
saying 25 years.
wasn't it, Frank Worrell?
He was with Frank Gordon for a number of years.
A number of years, he left him several
Now
years
he's
ago. He's on his own
And
practice.
he was with Judge.
I don't know why that has any issue to be brought up today.
So let me tell you where I'm at in my thinking here, having lived with this for about as long as I've been volunteering on the planning commission for 15 years. We had an effort to have people build a sewer plant for us back in the early 2000s. It is now very apparent to me that that was not a wise decision. It was talked about at the time. I have asked our board meetings to review the conditional use that you were given to find out, how do we move forward? What can we hold them to? Yeah, I mean, Ernie brought up the point, you agreed to build a 100,000 gallon per day sewer plant. You could arguably say it's over $1 million cost to you.
But only 40,000
But-
gallons supposed to go to the township.
But all I'm saying is I've asked our solicitor to give us some guidance, give our township guidance, give our supervisors guidance. I believe he may have done some of that, but it still needs to look into see what can be done. I have asked on numerous occasions to find out, to do an independent estimate of what it would cost to do an excavation of 29, tearing up all the laterals, redoing everything, going back to that 2 father, right? Your current depth of sewer is 13 feet, and you gotta go down to about 20 feet to make it work. You can have to go a little deeper than that.
It's too unsafe.
Right, whatever, but there's a cost associated with that. And from a few people I've talked to in the business, they're kind of saying 300,000 sounds kind of on the low side for a project like that. So, I'm a business person, I'm a business. Those are some of the things that I think about. Is this really a good deal for the township? This has nothing to do with I was a little bit annoyed because at our last township meeting, people were trying to make it seem like, well, if you're not in favor of this, you don't want to help people up on Sulphur Station Road. That's a big joke. Right? I'm looking at this and saying, does this make sense in the dollars and cents thing? Are we really getting, and are we really moving forward here, or are we not doing a really careful accounting? I understand there were other developers who were supposed to go in and help with the sewer plant, but the bottom line is your conditional use says that you're going to supply a 100,000 gallon per day sewer plant. Doesn't say anybody else is helping you with that. So I've been looking for direction to try to help our township make a good decision. Just like anybody else would, you're confronted with a problem. And so, some of what Frederick's asking is, okay, what are the other options? Jerry presented one, which has been in my head. Phil, you had some thoughts about what could happen there. But what if we were to look at, doing something with the Salford Station Road property? My understanding is that the Schmidts do not want to sell you just a little bit of ground you need for a pump station. Is that correct?
We currently have the entire property under contract.
But they don't want to sell you just a little bit of ground?
That's right, yes.
Okay. So basically, you have to purchase the whole property for whatever they're asking. I'm noticing, what, about $500,000 or something like that?
Roughly.
So when some of these systems were looked at a few years ago, as I remember from talking to our township manager, there are other ways that you're thinking about funding this interceptor where perhaps the township would be paying you back over a period of time using sewer fees and such. Was that a discussion that was ever raised?
I don't recall that.
It's certainly mentioned in our 537 plan.
It could be, but I don't recall having a discussion about being reimbursed.
Because there was a discussion, I know from our township manager, how that was all going to work in terms of financing.
Are you talking about recapture?
Recapture,
Okay,
right.
so there is an opportunity where when a water line or sewer line is extended for development A, any future connections for a period of time, typically it's 10 years, that whoever put in that initial infrastructure is able to receive some funds back.
Right. So if we put our heads together, why can't we figure out how we can do something amenable with the Schmidt property and some recapture thing and still live within the 46 or 47? I'm not going to argue that right now, it's not worth it.
So in that situation, I guess, so maybe we should kind of jump back even further. So if the answer, and I think some of the folks started with it, 46, 47 homes, just go build that. So we're open to doing that. If we do that, we would just apply for our final plan approval and show individual grinder pumps and just call it a day with a low pressure system connecting into Little Road and just move along with it.
That's not what why do you do this? That's not what you're approved for. You're approved for putting in a gravity-fed sewer line with, I think, 3 or 4 grinder pumps total in that development. So why do you play games like that? That was not very nice to just say, throw in 46 grinder pumps.
Yeah, so
let's just stick with the original plan.
So part of the challenge with any project, especially one that goes back this many years, is, as you've pointed out, there's many different conditions, right? And so if certain things are no longer feasible or potentially safe.
So technology's gone backwards since 2005, and this was approved, was put forward and approved.
So as
our engineer approved it back in 2005, that it was safe to put in that sewer line. So you're saying something that was technologically feasible back in 2005 is no longer technologically feasible?
I don't know if I'd use the words technologically feasible,
What did you use?
I guess I would say that the approved plan shows a sewer profile that the approved plan also says that you can't dig more than 18 feet down. Well, in order to make it work, we have to dig 22 feet down. And so there's a challenge there where you have an impossible condition to be met. And so it goes back to, as Linda said, there's a legal question to be asked. If you have an impossible condition, what do you do? And so, my goal over the last couple of years is trying to say, okay, we have these potential challenges that are on both sides. Right? So rather than go to court and fight it out and figure out, okay, who wins, let's try and come up with a solution that works for everybody. And so we came up with a solution where we said, look, if we're allowed 46 homes, and then we added 9 or 10, we're at 55. And so in our minds, we're thinking it's a reasonable solution to say, look, we're willing to build a pump station, we're willing to build that force main backup, we're willing to forego any recapture work. So that was something that we weren't planning on. And so for 5 additional residents. And so in our minds, we think that's a really good solution for all the folks, is that, hey, for 5 more residents in the township, you're going to have a solution that could potentially help
and you set a precedent that we can't undo. I mean, it keeps coming back to if the 47 or 46 homes that you were approved for, you reviewed those plans, your company, they were signed off on, by our engineer as though they were technical, that it was feasible to do that. You signed off on it, that's the plan you're working with, that's what you were approved to do. Okay? If you have issues now that you can't make that happen, you signed a contract. Somebody signed that, that's what we're working from.
Sure.
So, and I don't buy into the fact that it's impossible to put the pipe down that deep, because you can find instances where you are now. Okay? It's not going to be 22 feet down the hole. The road goes down, right?
Sure, so I get.
But I'm getting, the point is, I didn't really like you switching automatically to saying, we'll do this with 46 grinder pumps, because that's disingenuous on the part. You're going to talk to us honest and open. If you want to say that we can't do it with the pipe anymore because it costs too much, but you told us you could do it with a pipe for $300,000. So this is where I get really concerned about the double street.
Yeah, sure. So I guess the question is, would the township want to maintain that?
Maintain what?
A pipe that's 25 feet or 22 feet down the road? Is that something the sewer authority would want to
It
maintain?
costs less to maintain that pipe than it would to maintain a pump station and the piping that would have to go to wherever else it would have to go to hook up the other houses. So it's a matter of how much of it's going to be done at deep piping and that kind of stuff. So we have to ask our engineers. But that's what you're approved to do. You weren't approved to put in 47 grinder pumps and establish a different type of system. But to try to pin this on us, you already got approval for something. And you must have thought you were able to make it work back in 2005. So I don't know why you can't make, things have been advanced since 2005. You should be, is it technologically feasible for them to do? I'll ask our engineer.
Made a number of statements and recommendations on this over the years. There are concerns about going this deep with the sewer line.
But can it be done?
It can be done.
It can be done. That's why I decided paper and we're willing to go forward in that direction.
And I would also like to add that it still has not been identified, and the residents have asked numerous times, the extent of compromised systems on Southwood Station Road. To the best of our understanding, there is one, and maybe a few that are compromised. In our Act 537 plan, there's much less expensive solutions that do not even involve you then. You go build your 47, 46, 47 homes, figure out your sewage needs, and there are actually, for the corner of South Station, and it goes to Schwank, and it would tie in to where the Arcadia Station crossing is, or the station development is. I believe the Act 537 plans that has an estimate of $450,000. It does not require a pumping station. The same thing on Zieglersville Road. It's $136,000. Again, it's a low pressure system, similar to what you were suggesting with grinder pumps. But you put those two, we can solve all of our problem areas for about between $500,000 and $250,000. Not 1.4 million and 60 homes. So it's like, what is really best for Lower Frederick? I think this is what the residents are thinking. And no one is opposed to your original grandfather plan, or maybe reconfigurations of it, or but nobody's ever said that don't go forward with that. I think you guys should have at it, But I just don't think that a density of 60 homes will fly in the community. And I'd almost rather see the township see other solutions for the sewer problem areas, because we're only talking